Okay, so this is going to be a recorded review for 2 Stars Friend. We'll take a quick look at this. Since you're not going to be in the review, what I'd like to do is just give you a shorter gameplay review from the videos that you have. And then from there, obviously, any questions that you can have, you just message me directly. So I want to know if my thinking process during team fights and positioning space is correct or not. Plat support. Okay, so main thing I'm seeing from some of the form here is that your hero pool is really broad. So you play a lot of different characters, which is fine if you're playing for fun. But when you're playing to improve, you generally want to narrow that down depending on how serious you are about improvement. So if you're not super serious about improvement, but would like to get a little bit better, 3 or 4 heroes is probably good. If you're pretty serious about improvement, 2 to 3. If you're very serious about improvement, I'd say about 2 heroes is good to go for. And which 2 characters is really up to you. I wouldn't worry about it at all. But when you have, I get a message for a student and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes here, even if some of those heroes aren't as important, that's just way, way too much to make any sort of improvement. Mainly Ana seems to be the play, that's fine. But still, you're probably spreading yourself a little too thin. So I want to know if thinking process or during team fights and positioning is correct. I play around 2 to 3 times per week, about 3 hours each time, 50% comp, right? So that would be great to try and focus on only 1 or 2 characters with the amount of time that you're playing. I have no goals. I just want to have fun and improve. I think my game understanding is mostly okay, but sometimes my mentality gets bad, and it is hard to adjust when I get tilted. Okay, sounds good. Obviously, having goals can help a little bit with the tilt, but the biggest thing is just to focus on what you need to do and to focus on what your value can be. Okay, mentality gets bad. Okay, so we'll take a look here. So we'll start with who's support player, who's relatively casual. And we're going to look at the Ana first, and then I think maybe more Kiriko. Okay, so there's 4 different characters. Okay. So I'm going to get the recording started here on the window. Let's do, not Discord, let's do the session here. Actually, we'll just do display capture here. That will be easier. And then that way I can go capture my epic pen here. Should work. Yeah, perfect. Let's take a look. So we're looking at Ana first. That's a bit of a priority. Rolling out on a pretty deep angle here to start. Ana is all about finding a sightline or an angle and applying pressure from that angle. So obviously this is fine. Nice sleep, nice shot, nice nade. We're going to keep skipping. Rotating on our angle here. I don't like us being on robot, so this fight's going to happen right around this corner. So I am really this is exactly the problem that we want to see. Come over here for healing, right? This means that you're out of position because of where this fight's going to happen is about here, okay? Doesn't mean you need to go run and chase DPS and tanks that are out of position, but if the fight's going to be happening here, you are not going to be in a good position or a sightline to fight there. You're vulnerable to flank here. You're vulnerable to flank here. You can't see value here. So what I would like you to do is either commit to the flank on your right, go to the high ground behind you on bridge. So we actually saw that high ground right here. So this little high ground up here, or even better, you can go rotate all the way into the room to your left. So if I let this play out a second, that doorway right to your left, you can open up that doorway, open up a really nice long angle, and then even rotate deeper and open up another angle off to the left here. The big thing with Ana is you just need a good sightline, right, to do damage and to land nades and to land sleeps. And right now, all of your team is in this giant hallway right here. So you're vulnerable to getting flanked, and you don't have vision to see the enemy team. It's the worst of both worlds. There's no vision here. You see this? No vision, no pressure, no nades, no sleeps. So obviously right now, you needed to look for an offensive nade there. You should have gone for a nade right there. But the most important thing is that it would have been easier to land your biotic nade if you'd been on an angle on the left side. And because you have a sniper rifle, and because you have distance between yourself and the enemy team, you're not going to get punished for being isolated. Now, sometimes you might play versus a Tracer or a Wrecking Ball or a Sombra. They might isolate you. They might kill you. That's okay. That happens sometimes, but it's worth the risk. That's also why you have Sleep Dart and Nade. Sleep Dart and Nade can be used to defend yourself too. But your value here before this fight started and as this fight started was almost literally 0. And that starts with your positioning. So your job as a support to take a sightline here. And all you're doing is healing your tank and letting your DPS die. I like the shots here. Careful to not stagger. Alrighty. When this fight starts, I would not mind for you to go right side and do that flank that you were thinking about. You'll need to be very careful, but you can absolutely do that. You see what happens when you don't take a flank? You get flanked. See what happens? Here's the thing about taking an angle. You don't have to run it down like a Reaper. You don't have to run in here and run into the middle of the enemy team. But you can hold this angle, throw a nade, pop some shots, heal your tank, pop some more shots. And what that does is that gives you opportunity to do damage, but it also gives you vision on what's happening over here, right? You're blind. As soon as you go in this small room and sit directly behind your tank, what can you not see? Well, you can't see here. You can't see behind you to the left. You can't see here. You can't see here. You can't see behind you to the right. And you can't see behind you to the right there either. You have no vision. When you think about opening, taking angles, taking good sightlines as Ana, you're doing the defensive option, not just the offensive option. And this is a great example right now where because you don't take an angle, not only do you do no damage, not only do you not land an aid, but you're almost die to the angle. You almost die to the thing that you should have been taking. See, this Ana is making plays. She's taking an angle. She takes an angle, she hits her cooldowns, she uses cover, and then she stops your Freya from making a play. That Ana is what you need to be doing. And now, it's too late. It's too late. Do you feel stressed? That's a good nano, by the way. Just good sleep dart. So what I'm seeing right now is your mechanics in terms of how you're hitting shots and hitting sleeps and so on is actually pretty good. I think you're actually doing a pretty good job with that, but your positioning is really, really poor. It is not good in Overwatch 2 to sit in the backline and wait for opportunities. You need to create your own opportunities, not by running into the middle of the enemy team, but looking for angles. If my team is here, can I take an angle here and find a sightline here? Can I take an angle here? Can I find a sightline here? Maybe if my team is here and I want to play back here, that's okay, but only if I can see a lot of things and I can do a lot of damage. Right now, your sightlines are both too close and they're not on angles. Good. Yes, yes, yes. You missed the nade, but it was a good try. I want to see some damage here. Once these guys are not critical, you need to be putting your crosshair here. Let me show you what you could have shot here. Sometimes it's better to damage, sometimes it's better to heal. But when nobody's critical... oh, you can't quite see it, but there are squishies right here that you could be killing right now to help protect your team. That Freya was 1 HP. That Ana was low. It's okay to not shoot a fortified Orisa, right? You don't do very much damage. It's better to heal. A little panicky with your nades, but it's all right. Go help her. Go help your Sombra. You see how, because, that's a good sleep. Yeah, your mechanics are a strong point. Your positioning is really, really, really the weak point here. Okay. Let's take a sightline here, maybe off to the left or off to the right. You've got 3 people on robot right now. You see how poor your positioning is again. So, you here are having to turn your head to look this way. You're vulnerable to this here. You're vulnerable to the high ground. You're vulnerable to the left flank. And you don't have good vision either. You can rotate off to here. You can rotate off right. You can get off of robot and go off to the left behind you or to the left further here. You need to get off the objective. You need to take an angle. You need to find cover here. You're getting flanked from both here and here. And you don't have any vision to do anything. You should have died there. And that costs you your anti-nade as well. I think there's one of the things that I talk about a lot, yeah, exactly, and we die again, is that support players don't understand exactly how to position. Now, I know I'm being tough here, but I think this concept is very important. When you play support, let me get a blackboard here. Let's do this. Okay. When you play support, this is not how support plays. This is tank, this is DPS, and this is tank, and this is DPS. Your job is not to sit back here and just do this. Because what if your DPS don't take this angle? What if instead this DPS isn't here and they're over here? Well then, if all you're thinking about is what's happening right in front of your face, this person is going to shoot you and kill you. and then any tank ultimate's going to run right through you and kill you. Your job here, maybe, is to go here so you can still see your tank, right? But you can fight this DPS. Because at least if you're looking at something, you're more likely to live. What kills Ana is not Freya bolts, or Tracer flanks, or Reaper flanks, or Wrecking Balls. What kills Ana is surprises. Not knowing, not seeing. Think about all your deaths or almost deaths this game so far. They've been all surprises from Freya and Tracer and Tank. It's always been, oh gosh, I didn't know. Oh, wow, right? It's because of how you're positioning. And then the worst part is, not only do you die more, but if you position here, it's sometimes very hard to see people to shoot. Sometimes it's very hard to see people to anti-nade or sleep dart or to damage. You must find an angle. Maybe you help your DPS here. Maybe you help your tank, but you do so where you have a really good vision. The big thing is you don't have to always flank as Ana, but you do need to see something. And right now, you're not seeing something. So what I'm going to have you do for the rest of this VOD here, for the rest of this replay, is I'm going to ask you, I'm going to pause, and I want you as a student to tell me where you should be. With where the fight is happening right now. Okay, so right now, where is your angle right now? And I'm going to ask you to give me 2. If you're good, maybe even 3. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. I think we could go here. We'd have a good sightline here. We'd have cover. We could go in this flank here, very risky. We could swing left all the way to that cover near the mini health pack and get good vision there, but not standing in the middle here. It's not just standing back is bad. It's staying in the middle of the open. So your choice. Any one of those is good. High risk, low risk. But they're all good. But you see, do you feel surrounded again? You're surrounded again. And this is where you cannot win playing support like this. You must help your team to control and take space. You cannot let them be surrounded. Now, this position... Okay, well, maybe your team is walking forward. But there's sometimes where there's situations where you can just stand here and do so much. You don't have to take an angle because your sight line is so powerful. But it depends on what your tank does here. All right, let's see what you do with your nano boost. You can nano your Zarya, your Sombra is pretty good. Oh man, we must land an anti-nade here. We're not landing an anti-nade. The nano is too late as well. Yeah, you have to put out pressure here. So when you get space here, where's your rotation? You have your anti-nade and your sleep. Where should you rotate to put out pressure? And pause the video and you tell me where. I think unquestionably you need to walk in this room and use your sleep dart and nade and your nano to fight. You need to go now. If you don't help now, your team will die. What's killing your Brigitte, what's killing your Zarya is what you could be killing with your sleep dart and anti-nade. Heck, you could even nano your Brig here. It'd be totally fine. Ana is not always about saving teammates. It's about preventing them from being in a position of death. And you cannot stop people from dying if you wait too late. So we'll swap Kiriko here, but I don't want to see any more Kiriko. We'll look at maybe the other Kiriko VOD instead, and we'll keep going from there. Okay. Kiriko thinks aim is inconsistent. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, let's go into our Kiriko VOD. So big thing with your Ana, and I imagine it's going to be the same with your Kiriko, because support players generally are pretty consistent throughout all they play. Your positioning does not take angles. You do not take sight lines to do damage or to land anti-nades or sleep darts. I don't think you landed a single anti-nade there on the enemy team the entire game. The sleep darts were very good. The mechanics were very strong for Platinum. That was really well done. And honestly, the nano boosts were pretty good too. But you must do a better job with taking corners or cover where you have good sightlines to do damage or nades. You need to think a little bit more offensively so that you die less and you help your team more. Now, Kiriko is similar, but Kiriko doesn't have anti-nade and sleep dart to do as much damage. She has to do damage and healing value only with her weapon. So what that means with Kiriko is instead of sitting back here or here generally and getting big nades and big damage, generally she has to be more aggressive. She has to go all the way in the flank or all the way in the flank here. But the good news is that you can do that. You're allowed to do that because unlike old Grandma Anna, you have your teleport. So you can move very quickly. Same thing with your wall climb. And you can take very, very deep flanks. Not calling can you should. So I like this. You still have your teleport. Let's go. Good. I would be shooting, not healing here, right? Because do you see you're healing and 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 you're healing. It doesn't matter. It's too late. It's too late. Especially with the DPS passive, like you can't out heal this. The way to save your Doomfist here is to shoot the Mei in the head. So that she has to ice block, right? I guess the best color here would be actually here. She has to ice block, so then she stops shooting your Doomfist. This here, you can't see your Doomfist, so don't try to help him. Hold the angle and shoot the Mei, or shoot the Doomfist. You're going back here, but you can't stop it. It's over. And now, you don't have an angle anymore. And so they can run at you right now, and where can you teleport to right now? There's nowhere to go. Whereas if you'd been here, if they push you here really hard and then you teleport out, then you're safe. Teleport is only a defensive cooldown if you're on an angle. If you're with your team, it does not save you. It's like having a ladder to get out of a burning building that just goes right back into the burning building. It doesn't take you to any safety. Shoot the Doom. Shoot. 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 Good. I wall climb up to the top left here. So take your angle. Yes. Good. This is nice. Yes. A little bit of healing. Okay, shoot. No. So, yes, you will need to teleport away from Doomfist. But not right away. Shoot him first, then teleport. Shoot him first, then teleport. And then if the Doomfist gets rid of you. So, let's go back to the blackboard here. You're on an angle. Your team is here. Enemy team, enemy team dives you, you shoot him, and then you teleport away. Okay, good job. However, you cannot stay here. You must go back to the angle, or you must go to a different angle. So right now, you've been pushed out. You have to go from here to here. Okay, that's fine. So go this way, or go this way. You must go now. If you stay here, there will be nowhere to teleport to anymore. So let's move. Good. Keep going. Keep going left. Yes. So one little thing, if your aim is inconsistent with Kiriko, there's something that I call trigger discipline, which I used to coach with Tracer players a long time ago, and it's still very important for Kiriko, where you don't want to spam your primary fire. You don't want to go tap. You need to go shoot. Nice and slow. Slow your shots down and aim every shot individually. Even if you can shoot faster, you don't need or want to shoot faster. That forces you to practice more deliberately and aim each shot. Sometimes it's okay to spam if you're shooting a tank in front of your face, but if you're aiming far away, don't just spam necessarily unless you're aiming at like a corner at head height. If you're dueling somebody, 1v1ing somebody, and they're moving and strafing, it's often better to just slow it down and focus on aiming each shot correctly. Good try with a Suzu. That's okay. Oh, okay. We need to be keeping an eye on what we need to shoot here. Don't drop here. So you see what we're doing? So here's what's happening, right? On the angle here, team is angle here. Do not go in the middle. No. Do not go in the middle. Stay outside, right? Help your Doomfist. I know you're thinking, oh, I need to push robot. No, you need to win the fight first, or at least get one more pick first. Be very careful about this. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but you cannot put yourself in the middle of the open. That's how you get surrounded. Sometimes you can even lose 5 versus 4s. Okay. Let's see what we do with our angles here. I will say your positioning has been better than it's been with Ana. Much more likely to take angles, which I like. Good use of cover. I need to back up here. Ooh. Okay, this was good. You just played badly mechanically. Positioning was actually good. You needed to wall climb or teleport or Suzu. You did none of them. But you know what? That's okay. You tried to do the right thing and made a bad mistake. I would rather you try and experiment with your positions and make a mistake and die than to let your team die. Because here's the thing. If you don't do this, your team will die anyway. So you can either try to do the right thing, make a mistake, and then practice it again next time, or you can do nothing, have your team die and lose the game anyway, but you learn nothing. The difference between your Kiriko and Ana here was that your Kiriko, you at least tried to do something. With Ana, you did nothing. I like this. She's dead. Just shoot. Just shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. These are full HP targets. This has happened with Ana as well. When you get stressed, you only heal. You must shoot the Mei. She will kill you. You must shoot the Mei now. That is your job. These guys are full. These are full. These are full. You see what I'm saying? You must shoot what's looking at you. Push your angle to the left. So this is probably the easiest angle. So heal your soldier and then walk. Take your angle. It's okay to not shoot or heal, to move. Sometimes you must move. Walk. Walk. You see? You cannot heal that. That's too much heal. And you can't even Suzu that because he's standing in the open. That's his fault. You must focus on your value. Okay. Shoot. Good. You can use your Kitsune here if you want. For just yourself, you can. Good. Slow down your shots. Slow it down. Nice and slow. No, 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 no. No, 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 don't. Your team is healthy. Nobody's critical. Go back and deal with the Mei. Don't heal here. I know you're going to heal here. Ah, you could have killed Mei. You needed to kill Mei there. Don't put yourself in the middle. Remember, don't put yourself in the middle. That's okay. It's not a big deal. It's okay. Get off of cart. This is too close. So with Kiriko, you don't want to walk too close on an angle. You want to keep your distance. You can use your Kitsune here. Just use it. Just use it. Just use your Kitsune. You need to use your ult. Okay. It's all right. So with Kitsune, it is a ult that slowly gets value, not very fast, right? It takes you. It's not like an nano boost where boom, very valuable, right? Or sound barrier from Lucio, right? You need to use it and not wait. Even if only you or only your tank or two people can use it, that's okay. You just need to use it. This is taking way too long, and then we're not controlling an angle either. Can we go top left? Good shots. You must use your ult here. You must either control an angle, maybe on the left or on the right, or you must use your ultimate, or both. You can even use your ultimate on an angle. You don't have to use it on your main. You could even win this here. Good, it's good, Suzu. Okay, it's not. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just confused because you're using it in a 4v5 very late. Like. If this is okay, but this could have been used 45 seconds ago, right? That's okay. And then we just heal. We don't damage with it. I don't understand. So if you're gonna use your Kitsune, use it. You're okay. You have full HP and Suzu. Shoot. Heal and shoot. Use it. It's like, look, it's right here, right? You have both of your cooldowns. You have full HP. Use your value. I think we're going to stop here for right now. And I think what I'll do is I'll have you message me your questions, because I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now is your mechanics and an idea of like how you're supposed to be using or what you're trying to do with your cooldown seems okay. Like it almost feels like you kind of know what the character's kits do pretty well, but I don't think you understand how to play support. And I'm seeing that even with how you use your, not just your positioning, but how you're using your abilities and how you're using a support ult. It's like, I know what it does, but it's not working. So here's what I want to remind you. Support's job is to heal, yes, but it is also to damage. It is utility. It is the nade, the cleanse, the teleport, the mobility, the helping people on off angles, and then doing damage yourself. Your mentality, you look like a diamond player mechanically that only knows the importance of healing. You look like a diamond player mechanically that only knows how to heal their team. You look like a diamond player mechanically that only knows how to position in the backline And to be fair, sometimes with Kiriko, you took angles, but then oftentimes, if that didn't work out immediately, you gave up and went back to your team. And then even when you use your Kitsune on an angle, again, you gave up and went back to your team. So I want you to experiment much more with your angles, with your DPS, with your healing, with how you're using cooldowns. Help your DPS. Find cover, find corners. Don't flank all the time without your brain. Be smart with how you flank. But the biggest thing is to experiment. You must experiment with this more, because I think the fundamental of how you're playing support at your rank is wrong. And the only reason that you're plat right now is because your mechanics are pretty much better than, I would say, a good 75-80% of platinum players. So as I'm being tough on you, right, I want to compliment you on your mechanics. There are moments where you could slow down your shots as Kiriko, yes, and there are some panic anti-nades with Ana that missed, yes. But for the most part, your mechanics are pretty good. It seems like you've been playing the game for a long time, and it shows. Keep up the good work. I also think that you had some nice nano boosts. I think that you had some nice Suzus. I think those things were definitely strong points. But how you're positioning and how you focus on healing is a big, big weakness, and it's something that you need to progress on. I want you to take a look at all this, write some of this feedback down, practice these things in your games. You must practice these things in your games. And then if you have any questions, you will have questions, I'm sure. I want you to use the rest of the session to think up how you want to ask those questions, and then I'll be happy to answer them as soon as you're done. So take your time, write up as many questions as you'd like. You can even send a couple more clips if you like, because we obviously finished quite early here. And then good luck with your practice.